Hello students, today our topic is HTML programming and in this lecture we are going to discuss some program related to HTML. So this is program number 8. We have already discussed 7 program related to HTML. So let us see the part first of program number 8 in which we create a simple table. So we can create a table in HTML also. To create an HTML table we have to use some tags and these tags are table, tr and td. So table tag is the main tag and tr tag is basically the table row and td tag basically refers to the table data. So we must use tr and td with table tag. Without tr and td we are not able to create a table. So let us see, that is a code which creates simply a table. You can easily see on the screen. First of all, program start with HTML. After that, head tag is there. After that, title is also there, and then we can easily see here that body tag begins, in which table body is equal to 1. Then tr td. So basically, when we create a table, then we have to create different rows, and we have to define data within that rows. So with after just table tag, we have to use tr tag and then td tag. So you can easily see on the screen that table body is equal to 1. Now what is the meaning of body is equal to 1? If we don't define border, or if we don't use border attributes in table tag, then table appears without any border, without any line. So it looks very awkward. That's why we use a border attribute. After that, tr tag is used, and here one thing also very important, we give the value of border is equal to 1. So at least we have to give the value 1. If we want to increase the size of the border, we can give it 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. After that, tr tag is used, and within the tr tag you can easily see that two td tags are used, and within the td tags some data is defined. Actually, td tag refers to the table data and tr tag refers to the table row. So two table data are defined. It means there are two cells in first row. Okay, and the data of the first cell is row 1 column 1, and data of the second cell is row 1 column 2. After that, we can easily see that tr tag is closed and another tr tag is begins, and it means that is another row in which data is defined as row 2 column 1 and row 2 column 2 within the td tag. So basically there is a table, there is a creation of a table in which there are two rows. Okay, and each row contain basically two cells. So total overall cells are basically 4 cells are there. And if we define table without any border, so table will appear without any border. So border attribute should be used to define the border, and here I just give the value border is equal to 1. Now I think it is clear to all of you. Now it's time to execute this program. So that is a program, basically simple program which creates a table, simple table. So first of all, I just make copy paste operation. I just make a copy. You can write this code in your notepad file. So just go to the new file, new document, text document, and I just give the name, simply the name, simple name as just like that p, and paste that code here, and after that perform save as operation. So now give the file another file name, uh, p.html. Okay, p.html is the name, and I just save on the desktop, and you can easily see here that is our html file. Text and html file both are on desktop here. That is our html file. I'll just execute this program by just double clicking on that, and you can easily see the output. That is our output, a simple table with two rows and two columns, or overall four cells are there. So that is a simple table with a border. If we don't define border attribute, then table will appear without a border. So that is our code here. By default, border is equal to 0. So if we don't define border, then by default it is considered as 0. It means table will appear without any border. That is our code. I think now it is clear to all of you. So let us take another example of a table. Now table heading. If you want to put heading inside the table, that is also possible, and for that purpose there is a tag tr tag. So instead of using td, we just use tr tag to put a heading. So basically tr tag is used in the first row, and uh, rest rows we define the data with td tag. So there is a small change here. Rest programs, all part of the programs is same as that of the previous one. Now you can easily see that th name and th salary. So inside the first row I just give th name and th salary, which simply means that these are the name of the columns. And second row contain data, Ramesh Raman 5000. Third row contain the data again, Sabbir Hussain 7000. Okay. And that is table border. Table border is defined as 1. So only there is a simple change. I just use ts tag in place of td tag, which basically defines the table heading. So ts refers for table heading. So if we want to put table heading inside the table, then we use ts in place of td. So that is our code. Now let us execute this program. All other parts are same as that of the previous one. Now just make a copy paste operation here. Save the file. Now it's time to create HTML file. So I just perform a save as operation here. Select all files, p.html. Name of the file is p.html. Name of the file is same as that of the text file, but only the difference in terms of the extension. Okay, I just create a new file because p.html is already there. So p1.html. Now this is our second file. Now look at the output. In this output you can easily see that there are two columns. In previous output we can easily see that there are simply two rows without any heading. But if you want to put heading, if you want to represent, if you want to declare that first column represent what type of data, it may be a roll number, it may be a serial number, it may be name, then you can put table heading using ts tag. So second program is related to ts tag, in which we simply create table heading. Now you can see the output. That is the output, in which you can easily see that name and salary are the table headings. Name and salary are the table headings. So generally we create a table in HTML with table heading, in which first row defines the heading of the table, heading of the columns actually. So this is the simplest method to create a table. As far as comparison is concerned, When we compare it with the previous one, then the previous table is without any table heading, but this table contains table heading also, and that looks more real as compared to the previous one. Always remember that th is used in place of td. Okay, so in th we also put a data, but data becomes a heading when we use just th tag, and we want to simply represent as and it as a data, then we use td tag. So that is the basic difference between these two. Our next concept is very important, and it is asked so many number of times in examination, that what is the difference between cell padding and cell spacing attribute, and how these attributes are implemented. So first of all, these are the attributes of a table. It should be very clear that these are the attributes of a table, and we can define these two attributes within the table tag. Now you can easily see here that table is defined, and within the table I just declare table three attributes: table border, cell padding, and cell spacing. Three attributes are used. So I already discussed about border attribute. Border, just simply create a border. Next is cell spacing and cell padding. Now what is the difference between cell spacing and cell padding, and what is the utilization of cell padding and cell spacing as far as table is concerned? So one thing should be very clear, that if you want to increase the space between the different cells, then we use cell spacing. Okay, increase the difference between the different cells. By default, there is no difference between the different cell. All cells are interconnected to each other. Where one cell is over, then another cell is begins from there. So if you want to increase the space between the different cells, then we use cell spacing attribute. And if we want to increase the space between the content of the cell and the boundary of the cell, then we use cell padding. That is the basic difference between the cell spacing and cell padding. I repeat it just again. Cell spacing means space between different cells, and cell padding means space between content of the cell and the boundary of the cell. So whatever we write in the cell, and if you want to increase the distance between the cell and the if you want to increase the distance between the content of the cell and the boundary of the cell, then we use cell padding. So cell padding basically works internally, while cell spacing works externally. It means cell spacing means if we want to create space between different cells, then we use cell spacing attribute. In this case, we use both of them, cell padding as well as cell spacing. So I think now it is clear to all of you what is the difference between cell spacing and cell padding. As far as remaining part of this program is concerned, it is same as that of the previous one. Again, I just declare one row, two rows here, same rows as we declared in the previous example. So that part is the same, but only difference in terms of the cell spacing and cell padding. In this program, we just use cell spacing and cell padding. So I think difference is very clear to all of you. Cell spacing is the space between the different cell, and cell padding is the space between the content of the cell and the boundary of the cell. And that program is same. Okay. So in this program, I just use cell spacing and cell padding attribute, and let us see what is the output after the execution of the program. And you can easily differentiate the output when you compare it with the previous program. So just to make a copy of this and make a paste operation here, because it takes a long time to write the program. So just save the program, and after that perform save as operation. So the program name is let us take a p2.html. Now the save the program, select all files and save it on desktop. That is p2. Our third file, let us see. Now that is the output. You can easily see here. That is output of second, that is output of third. In which you can easily say that there is a difference between the cells, and when you compare the size of the table, then sizes also differ because we use cell padding concept. Means we just create a difference between the content of the cell and the boundary of the cell. So both attributes are used, cell spacing as well as cell padding. So there is a difference between different cells also, and there is a difference between the content of the cell and the boundary of the cell. So that is the main purpose of the cell padding and cell spacing attributes. Now you can easily see the output here. Let us take another program number part 4 of this program. Call span and row span attribute. These attributes are also very important, and it is asked so many number of time in examination that what is the difference between call span and row span, and actually the practical application are asked so many number of time in examination. The output is given and you have to write the code for that table in which row span and call span attributes are used. So basically these are the attributes of TD, table data type, and the purpose of using these two, we want to merge two cells. Actually if we want to merge two, we can say that two row or two column, or we can say that if we want to merge two cells column wise or row wise, two or more cells you row wise or column wise, then we can use row span or call span. So row span attribute is basically used to merge two or more cells row wise, and call span attribute is used to merge two or more cells column wise. Now look at the program. Table border is equal to 1, then tr is used here. So simply a row is created with the table heading in second table row. Now you can see that I just write td row span is equal to 2. It means two cells are merged row wise, okay, and content of the cell is row 1 cell 1, and second is row 1 cell 2, third is row 1 cell 3. Next you can easily see here, next row is tr is used here. So in next row there is no row span or call span is used, so simply a row is created with two cells, and in third you can see that call span is used. So I just write call span is equal to 3, so 3 cells are merged column wise. Call means columns, and when we use call span means we just merge columns, and number of columns are here 3. Whatever we give the value, that number of cells are merged according to row wise or column wise. So that is the program. Now let us execute this program. It will give you a clear idea how row span and call span works. That is our original program, previous program. Okay, now just write the code here, save the file. and let us see the output by just double clicking on that. Now you can see the output here. This is the output. Okay, column 1, column 2, column 3, these are the output here, you can easily see here. And in this output you can easily see that in first case, since we use a row span, so two rows are merged. In last case we use col span is equal to 3, so 3 columns are merged. In first case we use row span is equal to 2, so 2 rows are merged. In last case we use in col span is equal to 3, so 3 columns are merged here. Now look at the output. I just look at the code. TD row span is equal to 2 here and TD row span is equal to 3 here. That's why that is our output here, because we use row span and col span attribute. Uh, Next program is related to table backgrounds. So if we want to define or we want to just change the table background, then it is also possible. Now there are two ways. We can change the table background by a color or by an image, using color or using image. So for that purpose, two attributes are used, that is bg color and background. Bg color is used to change the background color, and background attribute is used to change the image or change the basically to set the image in your background. So these are the two attributes that are used with the table tag, bg color and background, and they are used to define the basically the background color or background image. And one more important thing, the bg color and the background and the border color, there is another attribute border color. If we want to define the border color of a table, then there is attribute border color which is used for that purpose. So you can use border color attribute also to define the or define the color of the border of the table. Okay, but these attributes are deprecated in HTML5, and so do not use this attribute at all. But these are asked so many number of time in examinations, so we have to just practice on these attributes, bg color and background attributes. So let us see the code, source code. bg color and background attribute. Bg color is used to change the bg color is used to change the background color, and border and background attribute is used to change the image, and border color attribute is used to change the color of the border of a table. These are the three attributes of a table. Now let us see the code which implement the border, bg color and background attribute. So code is basically same as that of the previous one, but here we just use border, color and bg color attributes. Border color attribute is defined to basically define the border uh, color of an table, and bg color is defined to background color of an table. The background color of a table is yellow and border color is green. And next, the all coding is same as that of the previous one. We just declare tr, th, td. These tags are defined declared. These tags are declared to define basically the table content. So now let us execute this program. It will give you an idea how these attribute works, border color and bg color. That is our code here. So I just make a copy paste operation here. And give the file name. Save the program. Now it's time to execute the program. I just double click on that file, HTML file. You can see the output. Now you can easily see here that the background color is yellow and border color is green. And why it is so? Because we use bg color is equal to yellow and border color is equal to green. These two attributes are used in table tag. That's why border color is here is of green color, and background color basically and background of the table is of yellow color. And you can, if you want to put an image as a background in a table, that is also possible. For that purpose, there is an attribute background which is used. Let us see how it is possible. You can see the code of it here. In this code, you can easily see here that wait a minute. Okay, now it is clear to all of you. So table border is equal to 1. So I just define border is equal to 1. Then border color is green, and background, in background I just write the URL of the image. So image is a folder in which there is an image, suppose named test.png. Image is there. So now that image works as a background of your table. And if that image is on a desktop, then you can write just the name of that image, then it becomes the background of your table. So simple to understand, I think, and simple to implement. Just write background attribute to set a background image, and after just writing the background, put equal sign, and that after within the double quotation mark write the URL of the image. And if it is in desktop and your source code is also available in desktop, then just write the name of the image, direct the name of the image, put the name of the image. It then works as a background of your web page. And rest all coding is the same, just like that, a ts, td, tr. So we define different rows, tr, then th defines the table heading, td defines the table data. That all parts are the same, but here I just focus on the how to set background of your table. I think it is clear to all of you. In our next lecture, we will discuss some more attributes related to table, such as table height and table width, and some more attributes. So thanks for watching this video.